So it's the day before the Kansha project and we leave for LA, and I figured it was a good time probably to sit down and think about how I'm coming into this whole experience. So I didn't really think about cultural identity growing up. If you go back to the beginning, I knew I was Japanese and I loved all the culture and traditions. I loved my family, but it felt uncomfortable to speak Japanese and explain my culture to others. I attributed this to being Asian, and it wasn't my Japanese identity specifically that made me different. It was my different appearance, the food that I ate, all very external things, and because they made me different, I didn't want to accept that part of myself. I wanted to reject it. But in high school, I made more Asian American friends, and slowly I began to accept that my Asian Americanness was something to embrace. But a lot of my friends were Japanese, so even then, I think in order to fit in, I was still only accepting my race as an Asian and not my ethnicity as Japanese, because that part still made me different. I was only accepting the parts that made me similar to others. In college, I began to have these extended dialogues about race and ethnicity, and I began to realize that being Japanese makes me different from people many times, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Japanese culture is precious and not inferior to another culture. I had to learn to accept. And so I accepted my cultural identity as Japanese, but then started to realize, hey, wait up, I'm ethnically Japanese American, and that's pretty different from being Japanese in Japan. Because of my family's experience being incarcerated during World War II, I've been shaped much differently, and that even though we didn't frequently talk about their time in the concentration camps, my values, my beliefs, my ideals, even my fears have been influenced by them. And that's kind of where I'm at now, is figuring out just how I've been impacted by that experience. What does it mean for me to be Japanese American and not just Japanese? How do I define it? What forces have shaped it, and how? And amidst all this, what is my place in all these race conversations that are taking place now? So those are some of the questions that I kind of have coming in. But I'm excited to go on the Kansha project. I'm hoping to find some of these answers there. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited.